explains qualia or internality?
Yeah, I'm torn on this one. Because I think that's a bit different to explains consciousness, which I think is a contingent and specific phenomenon. But internality, like how is internality possible? I don't think it's part of the job of metaphysics to answer that question, but I'd like an answer wherever it comes from.
It's another
And
puzzle. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's another puzzle. And it's on an equal, it's not quite the same as the puzzle of the nature and mechanics of consciousness, but it's very similar in terms of the prestige of how big of a problem it is.
I kind of wanted to get into maybe your definitions or differentiation between internality and consciousness. When I think of consciousness, I usually think of phenomenal consciousness, like Chalmers, what it's like to be. And that gives a sense of being on the inside of something and
Yeah.
having an experience.
No, I mean, internality I would associate with awareness. Awareness I think of as the primitive of consciousness. I think things are aware that we wouldn't normally consider conscious per se. Plants, for example, are they conscious? They're certainly aware. They are responsive to changes in their environment. They respond dynamically. They're definitely processing what's going on. So, but because consciousness seems to mark out a more sophisticated phenomenon than just awareness, that's why we don't say trees and stuff are conscious. It's because consciousness is associated with all these other more complex and sophisticated behaviors that I like. So when I think of consciousness, I think of, I suppose, mental experience of animals primarily, and especially of human beings. And I think this is the confusing thing, is consciousness like labels a whole bunch of things, but like the biggest portion of the consciousness concept is what consciousness is for humans. And what consciousness is for humans is quite different from awareness or internality. It's this notion of self-awareness, right? Recursive, linguistic, self-referential articulation and knowledge and insight, and something over and above merely having internality. Consciousness, I think, has all these connotations of language use and of sophisticated capacity for representing yourself to yourself, which I don't necessarily associate with awareness or with internality as a primitive.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think maybe that's where some of the debates on consciousness go awry, is because people have these different uses of the word.
Mm-hmm.